OpenAI, Pat. Elon Musk went on the record and said, if you change your name to Closed AI, I'll drop the suit. What's going on over there?
No, I know. So it's a pretty interesting back and forth between the companies. Elon's definitely going for it. And instead of Sam Altman responding, they have the first check writer to OpenAI, Vinod Khosla, aka Khosla Ventures, coming in to do the dirty work for Sam Altman and OpenAI. And it's kind of funny watching Vinod talk about all this. Because think about this, Dan. Let me get your attention here just real quick. What VC invests in a company that's not going to be for profit? Zero. Do people think we're this stupid? Now, you can set up a legal entity, right, that's very much a nonprofit, and then you can have a related entity that is very much for profit. And that is what's going on here. And so the conversation here is it profit or nonprofit? Is it open or closed? Right? Clearly it's not. Clearly it is a for profit. What is it worth? Its last money round was worth what, $30 billion. Dan, I mean, it's completely crazy. We're not that stupid, people. And then second of all, is it open or not? And this idea of open, and Musk, by the way, was a co-founder of this, was let's leave it open so it doesn't get into nefarious hands, right? You distribute it, kind of like a distributed network back when music distribution was the way to do it. They were all ripping it off, but it was empowerment. And now OpenAI is very much closed. We don't know what the models are, how they were trained, how they were parsed. One person might say, hey, that's intellectual property, shouldn't share that. But other companies like IBM have shared the entire process about how models are done. And that is hence open. So interesting dialogue back and forth. The memes alone are worth the price of admission.
Yeah, I kept flashing you the Musk memes. It was just too fun. The guy's savage. I mean, just absolutely relentless. I mean, first of all, kudos to Microsoft for locking down. And when I mean locking down, I mean, I don't know if that's irony or if that's actuality, but the biggest and most important relationship with OpenAI, which is the most reputed and lauded large language model and company building this type of technology on the planet. You see what they're doing with Sora. You see what they've done with Dolly. It's not just ChatGPT. The stuff is incredible and it's very innovative. And we know that there's things in the lab that none of us have seen yet that are far more compelling. Of course, you'd want to tie that down in any way you can. And, you don't become the world's second most valuable company on the planet, or in this case now first, being Microsoft, by not seeing where the technology roadmap is going. Having said that, there's this whole debate about ethos. The ethos of OpenAI. The reason it was created was to actually make sure it never was distributed in a way that any one particular company could monopolize it. And so the questions that Musk is asking, the questions he's asking are substantial and legitimate and necessary. And we should be taking this with some level of seriousness as a society and want to know, how do we make sure that what's being built here is going to be democratized in the way OpenAI's vision set out? And or Musk's other big concern is if they, as they flip, because OpenAI has many entities. I read the first page of the lawsuit. There was like 28 entities that were related, and they have for-profit business ventures. How do we make sure that's governed to not create a very unique advantage to one company? So the non-for-profit status was used to build technology that basically one company then gets its hands on and is able to build unique intellectual property on top of and build competitive moats in the marketplace versus everyone else? These are questions that should be asked, need to be discussed. It's good Musk is asking them. For his political ideology, people won't take, certain people won't take his concerns as serious as need to be, but they should be taken seriously. This is a very real topic, and we will see how this plays out. I compliment Microsoft because they made the right move, Pat.
Do you think Microsoft will put their head in, or like, let's stay away from this thing? I mean, if you remember, they were very active when the coup happened, right? And then
They had to be.
I know Satya's like, hey, we'll hire all of you. Come on in. He actually announced Altman, right, as joining the AI team.
Well, protecting the investment. My point is, it's kind of like tax write-offs, Pat. This is why I have no issue with Microsoft doing. This is like tax write-offs. Like, people are like, oh, you wrote off a car. How'd you do that? It's like, well, if the government's going to give you the ability to do a tax write-off on something, you can't be mad at people for taking advantage of that.
Oh,
if Microsoft's going to be allowed to use the non-for-profits technology to build a for-profit competitive advantage, I think that's bright. That's smart of them. So it's going to be something to watch, and we'll have to keep an eye on it.